Have you ever wanted to help solve a mystery aboard the ISS as an AI? Well, if the answer is yes, then keep watching because I have the game just for you.
Welcome once again, everybody. It's your chubby boy, Pudgy Papa. And I know I haven't uploaded in a while, but I have an idea for a new video series. And this is going to pretty much be the first video in the series. I think I'm going to call it Pudgy's Thoughts. And so, what we're going to do in this series is I'm going to play these games. And it's not going to be a review necessarily because everybody's out there doing reviews and I know like who am I? What does my thoughts count? You know what I mean? But I'm gonna give you my thoughts on some of these games. Um, just pretty much plain and simple, to the point kind of thoughts. No beating around the bush. I'm just gonna tell you if I like it or not and why I like it or not. So, like in the beginning of the video, as I said, if you ever wanted to be part of the ISS crew and help solve a mystery, then I have an amazing game. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the game that we're going to be exploring today is Observation. I am doing these reviews. I will keep them spoiler free because I don't want to ruin the stories for you. A lot of the games that I will be reviewing, just like with Observation, it's going to be really story driven, and I don't want to ruin that for anybody. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So, Observation is considered a sci fi thriller, and it was developed by No Code and published by Devolver Digital. I think the release date looks like was May 21st of 2019, and I personally played this on the PS5. My rating system is going to be fairly simple with these games. It's going to have a rating of between 1 and 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and I'll give you some pros and cons as to why that score at the end that you're going to hear, as to why it got that score. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and kind of dig into the game itself. And I'll have some gameplay in the background just so you can see some visuals. So, the plot is quite simple. You will be interacting with the lady on screen right there. Her name is Dr. Emma Fisher, and she's an astronaut on the ISS. And you will be playing as Sam, or Systems Administration and Maintenance. And you're playing as the AI the entire game. And that's pretty much the plot of it. Without spoiling anything, it gets way deeper. So let's go ahead and get in some pros and cons. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the pros of Observation. So the pros for me, number one, it had a great mystery. The story had just me pulled in. I could not get away from it. I literally sat here and beat the game all in one sitting. It took me about 5 hours to beat it, by the way, and I could not put the controller down. It just kept drawing me in more and more. Had an extremely interesting concept. I've never played a game where the entire game you're playing as an AI. It was unique. I've never played a game like that, so that's another pro for me. The graphics are absolutely stunning at times, and another pro for me is I found the puzzles to be simple yet not simple and kind of fun, to be honest. I literally felt like an AI, hacking into systems and messing with all the computers and whatnot, and it was super fun. Now let's talk about the cons for me. The story itself was a fantastic mystery. However, I found it kind of hard to follow at times. So you really got to pay attention. And honestly, to get the full story, you need to read every single thing that you find. And I didn't. So maybe that's why it was hard to follow for me. It didn't explain too much. Like when you get to the end, you'll understand what I'm saying. It didn't explain too much. You're just like, what's going on? Slow gameplay, as you saw in the past clip. A lot of it is using cameras slowly moving around a room to find what you need to do to move on to the next area. And sometimes it was frustrating to move about the space station. You'll get into a little sphere, a little into the game, and you get to kind of float around the space station. And it was a little hard for me to maneuver. And honestly, I did not realize, and this is on me, but I didn't realize there was a waypoint system in the game where I could put a waypoint in a room and it would kind of lead me there. I didn't realize that till toward the end of the game. And so I was kind of floating around aimlessly in the station going, I have no idea where I'm going. And so I got a little frustrated at that, but that's not the game's fault. That's actually my fault. And it did get buggy at times. And I'll put a clip up here in just a second showing you kind of a little buggy. And it happened a couple times. Not game breaking, but it was still, it's a con. It's out there. So the idea behind this series is to keep it short and to the point. So I really don't want to keep it dragging on. You heard the pros, you heard the cons. Now, what's my final verdict? I'm going to rate this an 8 out of 10. It was a fantastic game to play. It was only 5 hours, so it's not like I lost a lot of time. The story was great. And honestly left me wanting more and going, what's going on? Will that open it up for DLC? Maybe a part two? Who knows? But that's my verdict. Is I'm going to rate it at 8 out of 10. Highly recommended. And honestly, IGN and everybody else rated it pretty high too. So it's a great game. And honestly, I got it on the PlayStation Plus uh, plan that I have right now. So it was a free to play. And so if you have PlayStation, go ahead and download it. What's there to lose? So I hope you enjoyed this. We got a lot of games going to be rolling out. Any game that I beat this year, I'm going to go ahead and do a review on it. And then I'm eventually going to put in, toward the end of the year, I'm going to do my game of the year. Kind of give that to you. I wanted to start this last year, but there's been a lot of stuff happening kind of in my personal life, moving around jobs and stuff like that. So I've been having a lot of trouble doing videos, but I definitely want to get into that this year. So we're going to start it off with these Pudgy's thoughts. I don't really know what I'm going to call it. If you have any ideas, put it down in the comments for me. And again, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit that bell just so you get notifications if I upload, and share it to anybody you think you would appreciate this. But thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all have a fantastic day. Pudgy out.